Point number 2, have eye-to-eye contact with as much of the audience as possible, each and everyone if possible, if you have a small audience. That means this is while giving the talk. What I was speaking was at the beginning of the talk, a Z or row to row or chair to chair look. It doesn't take time, less than a second per person. But while giving a talk, I have to address. Imagine if I give the full talk looking at Brother Firdaus. So would Fariq like it? See, I'm so used to it, at least gestures I'm doing there. Even if that is not there, so Fariq would start yawning. Correct? You are happy, but he's not happy. I'm so used to it that if I don't look, I'm doing gestures. That is inbuilt. And with that saying, I started doing now. Inshallah, I'll show you my video in which you are the host. Inshallah. When you were the host and I was doing gestures. But that time you weren't noticing me. Now, the reason you have seen me maybe 50 times, 100 times, but you weren't paying attention on my gestures. Now, you're paying attention. I will show the video where you are the host, but being a host, you may not be noticing my gestures. You can't see my facial expression. That's the reason to observe, I go down. So smaller the audience, more requirement. Every few minutes, I have to glance at everyone. While glancing, if the person is busy, he may not note that I'm looking at him. Looking at everyone is important. Smaller the audience, more the requirement you have to look at each individual person. The larger it is, then the look is general in the direction and specific to certain people we'll discuss now. Inshallah, you may address 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, inshallah. There, the look is more general and depending upon the width of the audience. Many times, it starts from here and we start like that. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Amma ba'd. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I finished everyone. Maybe there were 50,000. And if I know dignitaries are there, then my first glance is like that. Rabbi shali sadri, wa salli amri, wa halul uqdatum min lisani yafqahu qawli. Then I go on the next layer. Covered that way? Good. So everyone feels. So if it is a large audience, at least you take a 2 swipe left to right. Twice. And everyone feels okay. He's addressing me. Eye-to-eye contact is very important. Even your eyes speak. Not only your hands, even your eyes speak. Point number 3. Do not look at the opposite sex if they are present in the audience. You may, however, give a passing glance occasionally. To the question that was asked to me yesterday, that while giving dawah, can you give to the opposite sex? And I said that many people break the rule. Now, while giving public speech, if there are ladies in the audience, that time you cannot stare at the lady. Passing glance, no problem. Passing glance, no problem. The next point is that you have to look at people who are the target audience. Look at the target audience, but not the ladies. If there's a non-Muslim amongst the audience and you want to be more specific to him, then look at him, because when you look at him, he pays more attention. If someone is sleeping in the audience and look at him and he sees that I'm looking at him with my eyes, I am waking him up. If 2 people in the first row are speaking and I see it, I look at them and I continue speaking. The moment I look at them, both of them start looking at me. Indirectly, I'm telling them, brother, I'm giving a speech. Please don't talk. It is with my eyes. I can't do that to a very large audience. I can do that only to the people who I can see directly, maybe the first few rows. So I'm speaking with my eyes. If a questioner poses a question, it will come in the next points. If he's asking a question, that time I look at him more than the others. Maybe 20% of the answer I'm looking at him, maybe 30%. Because he has asked the question. I have to look at him more than the others. Because the question is asked by one particular person. At the same time, I even look at others, but I want to see his feedback. And when I'm looking at him, I'm also asking him indirectly, do you agree or not? So when I look at him, yes. When he says yes, when he nods his head, then his heart also agrees. Some people are tough. And I realize that they are not agreeing, then I change my tune. Then I come back. Brother, don't you think I'm right? And many people have that habit of always opposing the speaker. So when they have a habit of opposing the speaker, you should know how to turn the tables over. It's an art which will come by experience. Don't make a fool of yourself. It will come by time. Experience is a great teacher. When I'm giving a pause, that also has a meaning. So all these gestures, eye-to-eye contact, the pauses have a meaning. And when to pause and when to continue, when to go fast like a bullet train, when to go slow, it will come by the passage of time, inshallah. Eye-to-eye contact is very important. But if it's a lady who asks a question, you can glance towards her and again look so that she doesn't feel neglected, but you can't stare at her. If a lady is sleeping and you say, okay, I will wake her up with my eyes. Not a lady, please. That's again is a Sharia. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, if you look at a woman once, don't look at her again to feast on her beauty. So you have to follow the Islamic hijab, even though it will be effective, but because it's against the Sharia, don't stare at a lady. Even while doing one-to-one dawah, as I mentioned day for yesterday, lower your gaze. But speaking to a girl with lowering a gaze requires training. Because but natural, who you speak to, you look at them. That is by default. So not to do the default requires training and conditioning. How many people here are conditioned to speak to ladies? How many people here are conditioned to speak to ladies? MashaAllah. Brother Kamruddin, Brother Chan, half. Some ladies, no. Brother Iman. What do you mean you're conditioned to speak to ladies? Give the microphone.
If I'm working like in the colleagues, there are ladies, and sometimes I teach English, so some of the students are ladies over there.
Oh, so used to speaking to ladies. MashaAllah.
Sorry?
So used to speaking to ladies.
No, when I teach English, there are a mixed class of both the genders, and I teach English to them.
So I'm asking you a question. That means you're used to speaking to ladies. Is this what I wanted? Yes, Brother Chan. When I said, who's conditioned to speak to ladies, and 3 people raised their hands, I want to know, what did you understand by my question? Yes, Brother Chan.
I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Okay, I don't know. It seems that most of the shahada which I receive, mostly women.
MashaAllah.
And
women accept Islam more easily than the men.
yeah.
It's the statistics.
Yes. And of course, I would not look at the wrong places.
No, right places you look.
But I mean eyes. I mean the face lah. You know, as you say, require training. Yes.
Maybe know which are the right places.
Huh?
Maybe know which are the right places to look at.
Face maybe.
Face is the right place.
But as you say that it require training.
Sure.
And
what did he say? I said maybe know which are the right places to look at. So he's saying face. I'm aware I've been often to Malaysia, Singapore, and other countries. Okay, Brother Kamruddin. What did I mean when I said who's conditioned to speak to ladies?
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Zakir Naik.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
At times, the group visiting the mosque were most to my class compared to religion class. 99% are women and only 2 men. So I have to glance, at times I have to look, and also the question time, and then shahada. So these are being conditioned unless I employ a lady to speak. But to get a lady speaker, through my experience, is quite difficult.
Brother gave explanation that many a time he goes for dawah tours and 99% are ladies. Is this the answer to my question? What did I mean when I said, who's conditioned to speak to ladies? Yes, all three are conditioned, agreed. But is this what I was asking? All three are right. They are conditioned. But was this my question? Oh, you don't understand? No problem. All three are conditioned. When I'm asking a question in context, what was my context? Fariq here. Okay, fine. Give it, Brother Yusuf.
لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله محمد رسول الله أرجو رضاك يا الله أنت الرحيم يا الله هبني عطاك يا الله أنت الكريم منك العطاء يا الله أنت العظيم يا الله فيك الرجاء يا الله أنت الحليم الرحمن الستار ملك الملك الغفار الوهاب المنان المتعال الرحمن الستار ملك الملك الغفار الوهاب المنان المتعال الله الله يا ربي يا الله الله